Got the words bad and caution at the top of the business bulletin. Not good, is it? Owen Fairclough with us. Some bad results out this morning and a cautionary tale about Facebook.
We know the story of Facebook, Stuart, a fairly botched IPO, it has to be said. Lots of people lost out, none more so perhaps than UBS, the Swiss bank, revealing this morning that it lost nearly 350 million Swiss francs as a result of that flotation of Facebook earlier on this summer. You'll remember there was a glitch on the NASDAQ that caused some losses, but the stock of Facebook has been down by around 20% since that IPO, where UBS says it's now suing the NASDAQ for that stock market flotation, saying we will take appropriate legal action against NASDAQ to address its gross mishandling of the offering. The only bright spot perhaps with UBS earnings this morning is that its wealth management did swell its coffers by some 19 billion Swiss francs, but it still only increased its profits by 1%, and overall UBS profits down for the second quarter by around a half.
UBS, of course, still has to negotiate its way through the bank rate rigging scandal that cost Barclays hundreds of millions.
That's right. We're going to hear more probably from UBS about that. It's already admitted that it's cooperating with Swiss regulatory authorities about that inquiry, which has now grown beyond Barclays in the UK and across the world, with up to 20 global banks now believed to be implicated in not just the manipulation of rates for LIBOR, but also for its European counterpart, Euribor. Deutsche Bank as well is believed to be involved in this, but making no comment on that. Reuters is also reporting that a number of European banks are now cooperating with European authorities to try and mitigate any sort of fines or punishments they might have for the rigging of Euribor.
OK, well, let's have a look at the earnings board now. You can see Deutsche Bank also losing, with net profit down nearly 60% following those UBS losses. And the energy sector, BP, which had been back in profit following the Gulf of Mexico disaster, lost more than $1 billion. It blames lower oil prices and a large write-down in the value of its assets. The Asian markets, they've continued their strong start to the week, with the Nikkei closing 0.7% up and the Hang Seng still trading in similar territory.
And just to wrap up on the market, Stuart, let's have a look at how all that affected the European markets, with so many disappointing earnings out this morning. The European markets, as you might expect, opening pretty flat. You can see there a choppy start to the day. The IBEX in Spain, I can tell you, is up by around 0.5%, so a little bit more confidence with that ongoing crisis in Spain.
A little bit more business news for you now, and Greece's coalition government is showing strains over its austerity programme. Two key left-wing members want to delay some cuts to pensions and wages until 2015. But auditors overseeing the country's bailout say cutbacks must be implemented now if Greece is to receive the $31 billion it needs to remain solvent until the end of the year.
Manchester United has been valued at up to $3.3 billion for its flotation on the New York Stock Exchange. The American-owned English football club is offering shares at up to $20 each. That's according to a regulatory filing. On Monday, the club announced a new shirt sponsorship deal with Chevrolet, that's owned by GM, worth up to $70 million a year.
And the jury settling Apple and Samsung's huge patent battle have been questioned on whether they bought either of the two companies' products. The iPad maker is seeking $2.5 billion in copyright damages from its South Korean rival, which is countersuing with similar claims. The trial will begin hearing evidence later after a judge asked jurists about their knowledge of Apple and Samsung gadgets to determine their objectivity. It's very difficult to find anyone who couldn't...
It could be the first trial, maybe, certainly for a long time, where whether you're in on or off the jury depends on what sort of smartphone you have.
Exactly. I've got a Nokia. Wouldn't be very good, would it? All right, Owen, thank you very much. Owen Fairclough for the business. Latest news coming up after the sport. Do stay with us.